In our briefing material, there are frequent references to a, quote, dangerous weapon. Would you characterize an assault weapon as a dangerous weapon?
Yes.
All right. Now, there are prohibitions in this bill against transporting or carrying a dangerous weapon, i.e. an assault weapon. Is that correct as well?
Transporting. Nothing new in the bill about transporting. I think it's already the law with respect to transport.
But under the new definition of what an assault weapon is, it's my understanding that there is a possibility that a particular weapon that is manufactured by Remington Arms in Ely, New York, could fall under the definition of an assault weapon. Is that correct?
Yeah. Manufacturing exemptions aren't covered by the bill.
There are no manufacturing exemptions. So would this then essentially be a de facto ban on the manufacture of those weapons?
Not at all.
They could continue to manufacture even though they're banned in, those weapons would be banned in New York State.
The existing exemptions are not changed. They have a gunsmith exemption that allows
them. But yet I see it says illegally using, carrying, or possessing other dangerous weapons. So they wouldn't be transporting if they made them there and transported them out of the state?
Well, the exemption overrides that section.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess I would consider that to be good news. During the course of the negotiations over this bill, did anyone reach out to Remington Arms, ask for their input or involvement in fashioning this legislation?
Yes. Yes.
They were approached?
Yes, they were.
Okay. And did they actually get involved, or did they decline involvement?
I don't think did they participate? They didn't participate. They just wanted to know what we were doing.
Okay. All right. One additional question. Is there any exemption, for example, for security guards, people who drive armored cars, people who are in that position to provide protection, who are not police officials but may need the protection of a weapon, may need more than a 7-round clip? Is there any carve-out or exemption for those?
If they're peace officers, they can they come under the exemption. If they're not, they don't.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lantal. On the bill, Mr. Speaker, if I may.
On the bill.
You know, yesterday afternoon at the beginning of our session, we heard Speaker Silver and the leadership from both sides of the aisle talk about this House and the accomplishments of the People's House. And we were told to take pride in the work we do. And now, less than 24 hours later, we're taking up a bill that, number one, tramples on the constitutional rights of our constituents to legally possess firearms, that uses a process to bring this bill to the floor by fiat rather than a legislative process that allows for public input and reasoned deliberation, and finally has the potential to put at risk hundreds of jobs in the already economically depressed Mohawk Valley. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, I see no reason to take pride in any of this. I suspect at the conclusion of today's session, many of my colleagues will return to their offices and grind out press releases about the measures they have supported here that will stop the scourge of gun violence. And I'm sure a major point that will be made is that New York State will be the first state in the Union to adopt stricter gun laws. But in my view, we've made a sham of the legislative process that Speaker Silver spoke so eloquently about yesterday. Where were the public hearings? Where was the vetting process? Where is the give and take of a healthy democratic process? Yesterday, we had a delegation of employees from Remington Arms here, and as you would expect, they're concerned about their jobs, their families, and the future of the company. It was an interesting lesson in civics and government for them because we couldn't give them here any details of the bill because they hadn't been printed at that time, mid-afternoon. Yet just a few hours later, the other house is voting on this bill. Now, these are honorable and hardworking men and women who get up in the morning and do a good day's work, and they deserved to be able to see and assess the legislation that may have such a tremendous impact on their lives. You know, I could talk about Remington Arms, and I often have, in its history. They've been located in Ely, New York for almost 2 centuries, and they're a mainstay of our economy in the Mohawk Valley. And I would only say at this point that its development has paralleled the evolution of our country and our society. And the question has to be asked here today. Has Remington and our society reached a point in our history where government reaches too far to control every aspect of our lives? Again, Mr. Speaker, I take no pride in what we are doing here today. Thank you very much.